Hi, my name is Josh Weszka from Vision Wealth Partners. Today I'm going to be discussing the roles and responsibilities of the key players and vendors for an employer-sponsored retirement plan. You've heard me talk about corporate retirement plan design before, and we touched on both defined benefit and defined contribution plans. While both types of the plans have slightly different requirements and setups, the key players are very similar. 401k defined contribution plans continue to be the most widely used, so I want to focus on examples and topics around the 401k marketplace. Before we jump into the four key players and vendors that are part of maintaining a 401k plan for your company, I think it is important to point out that over the recent years, there have been a big push by regulators to have company-sponsored plans uphold a standard fiduciary responsibility. So let's try and define this and have it back in mind as we go through the roles and responsibilities. ERISA, one of the main regulatory bodies, requires that a fiduciary be specifically identified within the formal written plan document. They also impose fiduciary status on anyone to the extent that they exercise discretionary authority or control over the management of the retirement plan or its assets. For the individuals in the company that have the responsibilities of running and managing the operations of the plan, this status could fall on those people who might not be fully aware of this. This is a very loose way of identifying who could actually be liable. We would suggest that having the right players in place with the right process would ultimately be the best strategy for protection. So who are those key players we're going to talk about? They are a plan sponsor, compliance administration services, a record keeper, and your plan financial advisor. Let's start with the plan sponsor. The plan sponsor is the entity or company that is opening up and maintaining the 401k plan for the benefit of their employees. Usually the owners, CEO, CFO, human resources, and accounting team are the people that would be involved with the plan sponsor responsibilities. The plan sponsor should help formalize an ongoing fiduciary adherence process and coordinate payroll services to manage deductions and company contribution formulas for the employees. They would also be responsible for ongoing payroll contribution submissions and loan payments to the record keeper on behalf of the employees, and these submissions should be consistent and timely. For annual plan administration and discrimination testing, the sponsor would be required to provide census and wage data to the compliance administration vendor. Important plan compliance notices should be distributed by the plan sponsor to the participants of the plan, or the plan sponsor should make sure they have a vendor selected that is responsible for handling these ongoing. Beneficiary records are important and might be maintained by the company for the participants, and the sponsor ultimately signs the 5500 tax filing for the plans. The sponsor is the key player who makes plan design choices and vendor selection. Vendors would include the rest of the players, which we'll review: compliance administration services, record keeper services, and the plan financial advisor. Now let's move on to compliance administration services. Compliance administration services are mostly plan sponsor facing, and the participants do not interact much with this vendor. It's their responsibility to provide advice on plan design and consultation for initial setup and ongoing plan design updates. They prepare and maintain the summary plan description and other important plan documents. They are also required to perform other annual non-discrimination and compliance testing, such as ADP, ACP, Top Heavy, and others. They also draft the IRS Form 5500 tax document, the summary annual report, and other schedules required. They also prepare and distribute compliance notices in coordination with the plan sponsor and record keeper. Their ongoing services would include support and consult with trustees on legislative and compliance changes, calculating and maintaining vesting benefits and amortization schedules on loans, reviewing annual employee census data, monitoring eligibility and entry dates as needed, and providing a plan audit package upon request. Compliance administration services can be bundled with a record keeper, or you can hire a third-party administrator. If the plan has a complex plan design or the plan is audited, we do find that a true third party can be more impactful for support and fiduciary protection. The record keeper, along with the plan financial advisor, are the players who have the most interaction with plan participants. The record keeper provides the technology participants use to access and maintain their personal balances and information. They're usually large financial institutions like Fidelity, Empower, American Funds, or Principal. It's their responsibility to facilitate plan sign-up. They provide the online enrollment process and produce participant enrollment kits and paperwork. Once participants are enrolled, the record keeper provides online account access for participants to make updates such as deferral elections, investment selection, beneficiary elections, distributions, and loans. For the plan sponsor, record keepers can streamline participant communications and transactions. They can coordinate with payroll services to support timely contributions, and some payroll vendors even have technology integration with the record keepers. So it's automated. They provide plan level access for the plan sponsor and third-party administrators to get reports and manage plan level account services. They manage custody and clearing of the investments from the investment menu in the financial markets. They maintain loans and receive loan payments, create quarterly and annual statements and tax records for the participants, such as 1099s, and they coordinate automated distributions of notices and plan changes. The last key player we're going to discuss is the plan financial advisor. This player works at the plan level to manage the plans, but also interacts with the plan participants to offer advice and services to the accounts. The advisor is usually the expert in the room when it comes to making decisions about the plan. They're responsible providing advice to the plan sponsor on creating and maintaining an investment menu offering to the plan participants. They also provide guidance and support to the plan sponsor on vendor selection based on the needs of the plan, and they benchmark the plan fees and vendors ongoing. Once plans have been set up, they continue to help formalize and run the fiduciary process with the plan sponsor. It's their responsibility to create and maintain an investment policy statement, to continuously monitor the investment menu, and have a process to make fund changes when needed. They also help build an education strategy with the plan sponsor for the participants of the plan. And then they work with the participants on initial enrollments to make their elections and review their accounts, and then provide ongoing participant support by educating and fielding questions. Part of filling these key roles for your retirement plan is making vendor selections that fit your business needs. This is not a one-size-fits-all solution. There are many decisions and choices to be made initially and ongoing. In the many years Vision has been active in the retirement plan space, we've seen a shift in the industry to make a push to get more retirement savings through company retirement plans. There's also been a big shift to protect the participants, which has put more responsibility on the fiduciaries of the plan. At Vision, we're independent advisors and true co-fiduciaries to our plan sponsors and business owners. We want to provide a solid routine of processes as the plan partner to reduce fiduciary exposure and allow owners to focus more time on the other areas of their business. Most importantly, we want to enhance the retirement plan benefit to the employees of the company and be a true financial resource to the entire company and participants of the plan.